The problem with chasing, why chasing is off-putting. Chasing, whether in the context of relationships, career aspirations, or life goals, often stems from a deep-seated sense of lack. When you find yourself chasing something, be it a person, a job, or a particular outcome, you're essentially broadcasting to the world, I don't have this, and I need it to feel complete. This mindset, driven by a perceived deficiency within yourself, often manifests as desperation, and this desperation is keenly felt by others. Let's put this into perspective with a familiar scenario. Imagine you're interested in someone romantically. You're the one always initiating contact, sending texts, planning meetups, and trying to prove your worth to them. Initially, they may appreciate the attention, but over time, this persistent behavior can start to feel overwhelming. Instead of fostering a deeper connection, your efforts may come across as needy or clingy. The very attention you're trying to garner ends up pushing the person away, not because of who you are, but because of the energy you're projecting. Chasing creates an imbalance in relationships and interactions because it's one-sided. You're so focused on pursuing what you want that you neglect to give others the space and freedom to come to you willingly. It's like trying to force open a door that would naturally open if you simply waited. This forced approach disrupts the natural flow of attraction, making the other party feel pressured rather than intrigued. Moreover, chasing can be exhausting. It drains your energy and diminishes your self-worth as you continuously seek validation from external sources. Each time you chase, you reinforce the belief that you're not enough as you are and that you need something or someone else to complete you. This creates a vicious cycle where the more you chase, the more you feel inadequate, and the more inadequate you feel, the more you chase. The psychology behind chasing. To truly understand why chasing is so detrimental, we need to delve into the psychology behind it. At its core, chasing is rooted in a scarcity mindset. This mindset is the belief that there's a limited amount of what you desire, and if you don't act immediately, you'll miss out. It's the fear that if you don't chase after that person, job, or opportunity, someone else will, and you'll be left with nothing. But here's the paradox. The more you chase after something from a place of fear and scarcity, the more elusive it becomes. Why? Because this mindset creates a sense of urgency and desperation that repels rather than attracts. People can sense when you're operating from a place of lack, and it's inherently unattractive. It signals that you don't believe in your own worth, and that you're dependent on external factors to feel complete. Psychologists like Abraham Maslow, known for his hierarchy of needs, have long studied human motivation and the factors that drive behavior. At the heart of chasing is often a profound fear of inadequacy or rejection. When we chase, we're not just pursuing a person or a goal. We're trying to fill a void within ourselves to compensate for something we feel is missing. This approach is fundamentally flawed because it's based on the assumption that we're not enough as we are. It's as if we believe that by acquiring something external, we can fix what's broken inside us. But the reality is, no amount of external validation, success, or approval can fill the void created by a lack of self-worth. This is why chasing often leads to burnout and a cycle of unfulfilling pursuits. The harder you chase, the more you reinforce the belief that you need something outside of yourself to be whole. And this belief keeps you trapped in a perpetual state of dissatisfaction. Have you ever wondered why some people effortlessly draw others towards them, while others seem to chase endlessly without ever finding what they're looking for? What is it about certain individuals that makes them so magnetic, so irresistible, that others naturally gravitate towards them without any apparent effort? Is it their looks, their charm, or is it something much deeper, something that transcends superficial qualities? Imagine walking into a room full of strangers, and within minutes, you notice that one person stands out. They aren't necessarily the loudest or the most physically attractive, yet they possess an undeniable presence that captures everyone's attention. What is it that makes them so captivating? Could it be their confidence, their self-assurance, or perhaps an aura of authenticity that makes others feel instantly connected? Today, we're going to uncover the secret behind this kind of magnetic confidence that doesn't require you to chase after anyone or anything. Instead, it naturally draws the right people, opportunities, and experiences into your life. But before we dive into this powerful concept, let's take a moment to understand what chasing really means and why it often leads to frustration rather than fulfillment. The trap of chasing. Chasing is something we've all done at some point in our lives, whether it's in relationships, career aspirations, or even personal goals. But have you ever stopped to think about what chasing really entails? When you're in pursuit, constantly striving, reaching, and pushing to obtain something. You're operating from a mindset of lack. You're telling yourself, I don't have this, and I need it to feel complete. This creates a sense of urgency and desperation that others can pick up on, often leading to the very thing you fear the most: rejection or failure. The irony is that the more you chase, the more elusive your desires become. Like trying to catch a butterfly by running after it. The harder you try, the further away it seems to fly. But what if I told you that there's a way to attract that butterfly to land gently on your shoulder, simply by being still, calm, and confident in your own space? Brief introduction to magnetic confidence. So, what exactly is magnetic confidence? It's important to clarify that it's not about being arrogant or the loudest person in the room. True magnetic confidence is a quiet, yet powerful inner strength that radiates outward. It's the kind of confidence that says, I know my worth, and I don't need to prove it to anyone. This confidence doesn't stem from external factors like wealth, looks, or status, but from a deep-rooted belief in your own value as a person. People are naturally drawn to those who exude this type of confidence because it feels genuine, reassuring, and secure. Think about it. Would you rather be around someone who is constantly seeking approval and validation, or someone who is secure in who they are and doesn't need to chase after anything? This magnetic confidence is deeply attractive because it's authentic, not driven by the need for external validation. It allows you to step into any situation with a sense of ease and assurance, knowing that you don't have to chase after anything or anyone. Instead, the right people, opportunities, and experiences are drawn to you, almost as if by a natural law of attraction. But how do we move from a place of chasing to a place of attracting? To understand this, we need to delve deeper into the psychology of chasing and why it often leads to frustration and disappointment rather than fulfillment. We'll explore how shifting your mindset from scarcity to abundance can transform the way you approach life, and ultimately, how you can cultivate the magnetic confidence that effortlessly draws in everything you desire.
The consequences of chasing. Chasing doesn't just affect your relationships or your career prospects, it has a profound impact on your mental and emotional well-being. When you're constantly in pursuit mode, you're living in a state of anxiety and stress. You're always on edge, worrying about whether you'll get what you're chasing after, and this can take a serious toll on your health. The constant pressure to achieve or obtain something external can lead to feelings of frustration, disappointment, and even resentment when things don't go your way. Over time, this can erode your self-esteem and lead to a sense of hopelessness, as you start to believe that no matter how hard you try, you'll never be able to attain what you want. Furthermore, chasing creates a dependency on external validation. You become reliant on the approval and acceptance of others to feel good about yourself. This dependency is dangerous because it places your sense of self-worth in the hands of others, leaving you vulnerable to their opinions and judgments. When you chase after others' approval, you give away your power and control over your own happiness. But there is a way out of this cycle, a way that involves shifting your mindset from scarcity to abundance and from chasing to attracting. By cultivating magnetic confidence from within, you can break free from the need to chase and instead begin to naturally attract what you desire. Moving from chasing to attracting. The key to moving from chasing to attracting lies in shifting your focus inward. Instead of looking outside yourself for validation and fulfillment, start cultivating the qualities within that make you naturally attractive to others. This means developing a strong sense of self-worth, embracing who you are, and recognizing that you are enough just as you are. When you stop chasing and start believing in your own value, something amazing happens. You begin to exude a quiet confidence that draws others to you. You become a magnet for positive experiences, relationships, and opportunities, not because you're chasing them, but because you're attracting them through your own inner strength and self-assurance. This shift from chasing to attracting is not just about changing your behavior, it's about transforming the way you see yourself and the world around you. It's about recognizing that you have the power to create the life you want, not by chasing after it, but by becoming the kind of person who naturally attracts it. Building magnetic confidence. Defining true confidence. So, what does true confidence look like? It's important to recognize that true confidence isn't about being boastful, domineering, or the loudest voice in the room. True confidence is quiet, steady, and deeply rooted in self-knowledge and self-assurance. It's the understanding that you are valuable, not because of what you have or what you've achieved, but simply because of who you are. True confidence is not contingent on external factors. It's not about having the best job, the most friends, or the fanciest possessions. Instead, it's an internal belief that you are enough exactly as you are, regardless of your circumstances. This type of confidence is incredibly magnetic because it doesn't seek validation from others. It doesn't need to chase after approval or recognition. because it's grounded in a secure sense of self-worth. People are drawn to true confidence because it exudes authenticity and integrity. When you're confident in who you are, you don't feel the need to pretend or put on a facade. You can be genuine, honest, and open with others because you're not worried about how they'll perceive you. This authenticity is what draws people in. It's relatable, trustworthy, and real. Brené Brown, a researcher known for her work on vulnerability and courage, often speaks about the power of authenticity. According to her, true confidence is about embracing who you are, flaws and all, and showing up as your authentic self. When you have the courage to be vulnerable and embrace your imperfections, you create space for others to do the same. This vulnerability, coupled with self-assurance, is what makes true confidence so magnetic. Authenticity, however, isn't just about being true to yourself in a general sense. It's about being true to yourself in every moment, especially in challenging situations. It's about standing firm in your values, even when it's uncomfortable or unpopular. It's about trusting yourself and your decisions, rather than seeking external validation or approval. The misconception of confidence. It's also worth addressing a common misconception about confidence, the idea that confident people are always outgoing, extroverted, or socially dominant. In reality, confidence comes in many forms. Some of the most confident people are introverted, soft-spoken, or reserved. Their confidence doesn't come from how they present themselves to the world, but from a deep inner belief in their own worth and abilities. This is why true confidence isn't about being the center of attention or the life of the party. It's about being comfortable in your own skin, whether you're in a crowded room or alone with your thoughts. It's about knowing that you have something valuable to offer, even if you don't always feel the need to broadcast it. Actionable tips to build magnetic confidence. Now that we have a clear understanding of what true confidence is, let's explore some practical steps you can take to cultivate this magnetic confidence in your own life. 1. Embrace self-acceptance. The first and most crucial step towards building true confidence is self-acceptance. This means accepting yourself fully, including your strengths, weaknesses, flaws, and quirks. Self-acceptance is the foundation of confidence because it allows you to be at peace with who you are, rather than constantly striving to be someone you're not. Self-acceptance involves acknowledging your imperfections without judgment. It's about understanding that you don't have to be perfect to be worthy of love, respect, and success. Practice self-compassion by treating yourself with kindness and understanding, especially when you make mistakes. Remember, confidence doesn't come from being perfect, it comes from being real and embracing your authentic self. 2. Develop a positive mindset. Confidence is deeply influenced by your mindset. If you're constantly focusing on what you lack or what's wrong with you, it's hard to feel confident. That's why it's essential to cultivate a mindset of abundance and positivity. Start by shifting your focus from what you lack to what you have. Recognize the value you bring to the table, whether it's your skills, talents, experiences, or unique perspectives. One powerful tool for developing a positive mindset is the use of positive affirmations. Affirmations are statements that reinforce your self-worth and remind you of your strengths. For example, start each day by affirming, "I am enough just as I am," or "I am confident and capable." Over time, these affirmations will help reshape your self-perception and boost your confidence. Another aspect of a positive mindset is gratitude. Take time each day to reflect on the things you're grateful for, whether it's your health, your relationships, or your accomplishments. Gratitude shifts your focus from what's missing in your life to what's already there, helping you feel more content and confident. 3. Master your body language. Your body language plays a significant role in how others perceive you and how you perceive yourself. Confident body language conveys a sense of assurance and self-respect, while poor body language can undermine your confidence, even if you feel good inside. To project confidence, pay attention to your posture. Stand tall with your shoulders back and your head held high. Make eye contact with others and use open gestures, such as keeping your arms uncrossed and your hands visible. These signals communicate that you're approachable, trustworthy, and in control. Interestingly, research has shown that adopting power poses such as standing with your hands on your hips or raising your arms in a V shape can actually boost your confidence levels. These poses increase testosterone, the hormone associated with dominance and confidence, while reducing cortisol, the stress hormone. Even holding a power pose for just a few minutes before a big meeting or event can help you feel more confident and perform better. 4. Set and enforce boundaries. Confident people know their limits and aren't afraid to set boundaries. Boundaries are essential for protecting your energy, time, and well-being. They help you maintain a sense of control over your life and prevent others from taking advantage of you. Learn to say no when something doesn't align with your values or needs. Saying no doesn't make you selfish or unkind, it simply means that you're prioritizing your own well-being. When you set and enforce boundaries, you're sending a clear message that you respect yourself and expect others to do the same. Setting boundaries isn't about being rigid or inflexible. It's about knowing what you need to feel safe, respected, and valued. It's also about communicating those needs to others in a clear and assertive way. When you have strong boundaries, you're less likely to feel overwhelmed, resentful, or drained, and more likely to feel confident and in control. 5. Focus on personal growth. Confidence grows when you invest in yourself. Continuously seek opportunities for learning, growth, and self-improvement, whether it's through education, hobbies, or personal development. The more you expand your knowledge and skills, the more confident you'll feel in your abilities. Set realistic goals for yourself and work towards achieving them. Each accomplishment, no matter how small, will boost your confidence and reinforce your belief in your capabilities. Remember to celebrate your achievements, even the minor ones. Acknowledging your progress reinforces your sense of competence and self-worth. It's also important to recognize that personal growth isn't just about acquiring new skills or knowledge. It's about becoming a better version of yourself, more compassionate, more resilient, more self-aware. As you grow, you'll find that your confidence naturally increases because you're constantly evolving into someone who is more aligned with your true self. 6. The power of patience and non-reactivity. Reflective, empowering tone. Another key aspect of magnetic confidence is patience. Confident people don't rush into things or force outcomes. They trust the process and allow things to unfold naturally. This patience comes from a place of self-assurance. It's the belief that what's meant for you will come to you in its own time, without the need for chasing or forcing. Patience also allows you to remain calm and composed in challenging situations. Instead of reacting impulsively out of fear or anxiety, you can take a step back, assess the situation, and respond thoughtfully. This non-reactivity is incredibly attractive because it signals strength, stability, and self-control. Practicing mindfulness is an excellent way to develop patience and non-reactivity. Mindfulness involves staying present in the moment and observing your thoughts and emotions without judgment. By practicing mindfulness regularly, you can train yourself to respond to situations with clarity and composure rather than reacting out of habit or stress. In addition, patience involves having faith in yourself and your journey. It's about trusting that you're on the right path, even when things don't seem to be moving as quickly as you'd like. This faith in yourself and the process is a powerful form of confidence because it shows that you believe in your own worth and your ability to achieve your goals no matter how long it takes. Real-life transformations. Stories of individuals who stopped chasing. Let's explore some real-life examples of individuals who underwent profound transformations by shifting their mindset from chasing to attracting. These stories demonstrate how embracing magnetic confidence can lead to remarkable changes in one's life, bringing fulfillment and success without the need for relentless pursuit. Example 1. Sarah's story. Sarah had spent most of her adult life chasing after relationships, convinced that she needed to prove her worth to others in order to be loved. She would go out of her way to accommodate the needs and desires of her partners, often at the expense of her own happiness. Sarah was always the one initiating contact, planning dates, and making compromises, even when it meant settling for less than she deserved. Deep down, she feared that if she didn't go the extra mile, she would be rejected or abandoned. This constant pursuit left Sarah feeling emotionally drained and unfulfilled. No matter how hard she tried, she couldn't seem to find a relationship where she felt truly valued. She often attracted partners who took her efforts for granted, leaving her feeling unappreciated and resentful. Sarah's self-worth was tied to how others treated her, and as a result, she found herself in a cycle of chasing after love that always seemed just out of reach. After a particularly painful breakup, Sarah hit a low point. She realized that she had been sacrificing her own needs and happiness in an attempt to gain the approval of others. It was then that she decided to make a change. Sarah began to focus on herself, something she had neglected for far too long. She started practicing self-love and self-care, engaging in activities that brought her joy and fulfillment, independent of anyone else's approval. One of the most significant changes Sarah made was setting boundaries. She learned to say no to things that didn't align with her values or made her uncomfortable. She stopped overextending herself for the sake of others and started prioritizing her own well-being. Sarah also made a conscious decision to stop seeking validation from others. Instead of trying to prove her worth through her relationships, she embraced her true self, flaws and all. Over time, something amazing happened. As Sarah's confidence grew, so did her sense of inner peace. She no longer felt the need to chase after relationships or prove her worth to anyone. Instead, she focused on being the best version of herself and living a life that made her happy. This shift in mindset had a profound impact on her relationships. Sarah began to attract people who genuinely appreciated her for who she was, without any need for her to chase or prove herself. Eventually, Sarah entered into a relationship where she was valued and loved unconditionally. Her partner respected her boundaries, appreciated her independence, and admired her confidence. For the first time in her life, Sarah felt truly secure in a relationship, not because she had chased after it, but because she had become the kind of person who naturally attracted the love and respect she deserved. Sarah's transformation taught her that the key to finding love wasn't in chasing it, but in becoming it. By embracing her own worth and cultivating magnetic confidence, she was able to attract the kind of relationship she had always longed for, effortlessly. Example 2. John's journey. John was a talented and hardworking professional who had spent years chasing after promotions, recognition, and approval in his career. He was always the first to volunteer for extra projects, the last to leave the office, and the one who consistently met his deadlines. Despite his efforts, John often felt overlooked and undervalued by his colleagues and superiors. He longed for acknowledgement and validation, but no matter how hard he worked, it never seemed to come. John's frustration grew as he watched others receive the promotions and recognition he felt he deserved. He couldn't understand why his hard work wasn't being noticed. The constant chasing after approval and success left John feeling exhausted and disillusioned. He began to doubt his own abilities and questioned whether he would ever achieve the career success he desired. One day, after yet another disappointing performance review, John decided to take a different approach. Instead of continuing to chase after recognition, he shifted his focus inward. John realized that his worth wasn't dependent on the approval of others, but on his own belief in himself. He decided to stop seeking external validation and instead concentrate on honing his skills, taking pride in his work, and being the best version of himself. John began to set personal goals that were independent of what others thought of him. He started taking on projects that aligned with his passions and strengths, rather than those that he thought would impress his superiors. John also made a conscious effort to stop comparing himself to others. Instead of measuring his success by the promotions or accolades others received, he focused on his own growth and development. As John's confidence grew, so did his influence at work. He became known for his quiet confidence, dedication, and expertise. His colleagues began to seek out his advice and input, and his superiors took notice of his consistent performance and positive attitude. John's transformation was gradual, but over time, he noticed that the very recognition he had been chasing began to come to him naturally. Eventually, John was promoted to a leadership position, something he had been chasing for years but only achieved after he stopped chasing. This time, the promotion felt different. It wasn't something he had desperately pursued, it was something he had earned through his commitment to personal growth and excellence. John's journey taught him that true success comes not from chasing after external rewards, but from becoming the kind of person who naturally attracts them. The impact of these transformations. Both Sarah and John's stories illustrate the transformative power of magnetic confidence. By shifting their focus from chasing to attracting, they were able to create the lives they desired, filled with meaningful relationships and fulfilling careers. They learned that true confidence doesn't come from external validation, but from within. This internal shift allowed them to naturally attract the relationships, opportunities, and success they had been seeking all along. Sarah and John's transformations remind us that when we stop chasing, we give ourselves the space to grow, to become more aligned with who we truly are. And in that space, we find that what we desire begins to come to us, not because we're forcing it, but because we've become a magnet for it. Their stories serve as powerful examples of how embracing self-worth and cultivating magnetic confidence can lead to profound and lasting change in our lives. So, the next time you find yourself chasing after something, whether it's a relationship, a promotion, or approval, pause and reflect on Sarah and John's journeys. Consider shifting your focus from chasing to becoming. Ask yourself how you can cultivate the qualities within yourself that will naturally attract what you desire. When you do, you may find that what you've been chasing after has been within your reach all along.